So today, welcome everybody, and thank you guys to join us in the Friday for Chia in China. And today we are honored to invite Brand to into our AMA and introduce the background and the roadmap for NFTr and MINTr. So Brand, why don't you introduce yourself briefly? Yeah.
Certainly. Well, thank you for having me on Chia in China AMA. I appreciate that and your time today. My name is Clyde or Brant, and I am one of the founders of NFTr as well as MINTr. MINTr is our minting tool, and NFTr is going to be the full NFT ecosystem. The marketplace, the explorer, different games such as Decentralized Dominion that we had out there. And MINTr is our first product that I will demo today for you.
So the NFT on Chia has been developed for almost 1 year. How do you think about the Chia NFT ecosystem?
Yeah, certainly. And that might have been the last time the majority of people here had seen me on the Chia in China AMA was last year during the launch of NFTs on Chia. We are still early in the growth for Chia NFTs, and we've seen a number of projects start moving from other chains to Chia. A lot of unique cases arise from projects and developers, and we're still on that ground foundation. We're working on a number of projects that focus on Chia NFTs, including enhanced metadata in Chip 15, on-chain upgradable NFTs in collaboration with the Monkey Zoo project and Lucky 8, a white-labeled NFT storefront, which will release near the end of this summer, and a customizable trading game, Decentralized Dominion. Our demo was available during the large Chia TCG announcement, and a few others that we cannot discuss quite yet.
Great. That's a lot of, I saw a lot of works you have done. Great job.
Thank you.
So what was the motivation of for the creation of MINTr? Why you created?
Yeah. My business partner, Greg, and I realized that a big part missing for widespread adoption of NFTs is creator tooling. Current NFT solutions focus on either compiling generative art, minting on specific chains, or displaying content from specific chains. This has led to numerous disparate tools being available for creators, but no single tool that can do it all. The core premise and motivation behind MINTr is to provide a robust asset management solution, not only to help creators prepare and curate their collection before it is minted, but also to help creators maintain their collection with tools like offer file creation, NFT storefront deployment, advertising, and more.
So, yeah, that's really a lot of work you have to do. Yeah. Brent, why you choose BS instead of CS architecture?
So when developing a tool for creators, we had to make that early design decision as to the architecture. Our choice for BS reduces the complexity for the creator and for developers wanting to integrate our tool. Creators do not need to download any additional software, and through IndexedDB can be confident that they own their own data. For developers, they need only launch an HTTP server in order to run the open source version of MINTr.
So as the beta version tester, I feel that MINTr has lots of functions, very nice. But still I feel some lackness of the guidance. So will it be optimized in the future?
Yes, absolutely. We are actively optimizing many aspects of MINTr, including Wallet Connect integrations, UUID generator, and a wizard mode, which will be a guided minting experience. We are still in early beta, but have already implemented more than 100 optimizations and fixes, with many more planned for this month. In addition, we are expanding our series of demo videos to include more detailed tutorials like the Hashlips video released last week.
So what's the difference between MINTr and MINTr Garden Studios?
Yeah, one of our core principles is ensuring creators have full ownership and control. The biggest difference is MINTr runs fully in the browser without the need for downloading anything. This ensures that our systems never have direct access to your keys or your crypto, and the utilization of IndexedDB means that our servers never even have access to your assets. From a cost perspective, with MINTr, we do not charge any minting fees and will never take a portion of your royalties. Lastly, MINTr already incorporates the schema.org standards defined in chip 15 and supports multi-component assets, thumbnail generation, rarity scoring, and much, much more.
So yeah, I want to ask where you charge the fees, but you answered already. It's free. But how to make profit to survival and substance your developing in the future?
Certainly. So once we launch our release candidate, we will have subscription tiers. We will always have a free option available for basic operations, and we'll provide trials for those paid features. But it is our goal to continually upgrade the feature sets, and not only the paid versions, but also the free versions. In addition to subscription revenue from MINTr itself, we will be releasing a suite of other creator-focused tools like our white-labeled NFT storefront, an on-chain NFT upgrading solution, and a customizable trading card game.
So talking about the different version, what's the main difference between the basic and the pro versions? Include the assets, metadata, and rarity or creating offer, etc.
Certainly. The current listing of features for basic and pro versions is very likely to change leading up to our formal release. These feature sets will only grow over time, and the basis for the subscription model built in for MINTr. In the near future, we will announce a method for creators and developers to request additional features, and it is these user requested features that will receive priority development.
As the proposer of chip 15, could you please talking about your motivation, the content, and the principle of this proposal?
Absolutely. The current Chia NFT standard defines off-chain metadata with chip 7. And while it thoroughly covers the data that is common on other blockchains, there was no way for this standard to grow and adapt for other use cases. To this end, while chip 7 was in development, Grig and I recommended and ensured inclusion of an extra data object as part of the standard. This, however, did not define what data could or should be included to make NFTs more robust and applicable for other use cases. Chip 15 solves this by establishing a standard for the data that can be contained within this extra data object.
So schema is mentioned in chip 15. So why you choose this standard?
Great question. After months of researching other metadata standards and asking numerous developers, it became clear that the most robust and inclusive set of metadata standards is schema.org. The schema.org standard, however, was not perfect, and I noticed that there was a big flaw when trying to define thumbnails for media objects. To resolve this, I have had a PR included in the schema.org repo that corrects the inclusion of thumbnails to be used for all creative objects.
So we know that as a NFT player, we especially when we have a lots of NFT, we encountered the problem in Chia GUI wallet. The display of NFT is terrible, really terrible. Okay, to be honest, unable to draw a white screen and turning circle. So, have you encountered this kind of a problem, and how will you solve it?
Yes, I have. Now, MINTr relies on IndexedDB and local files for managing huge collections without any of these issues. As for the Chia client, though, I have encountered many of those same issues and likely perform the same workarounds as many of you here. I generally start with a reload and give it some time, then a force reload, especially for the white screen issue. This seems to help. Now that Chia has the DB resync option in the wallet, I will then use that if things are stuck or unable to load. But with my wallet size, it can take 30 minutes to an hour for a full resync. If this doesn't work, I will revert my wallet DB to an archived version and sync from there. Since Chia has made many optimizations to how wallet keys are managed, I will likely create and switch over to a new wallet in the coming months. This would mean sending all of my DIDs, coins, and tokens to the new wallet in as few transactions as possible. What I would really like to see is more wallet and node developers to provide alternatives to the Chia client, which I believe we will start seeing more of once the wallet SDK is released near the end of this year.
So we know Chia TCG has been launched not long ago. And how do you think about it? And what's the opportunities, the new opportunities, and the challenges you were met there?
Yeah, and it's very exciting. Now, not much is yet public about the gameplay mechanics behind Chia TCG. So I am certainly excited to learn more. I think it is great that the code base will be open source, which will enable community projects and developers to create their own versions of the TCG. I am also excited to see how the blockchain gaming community as a whole responds to the Chia TCG as it incorporates true peer-to-peer trading, decentralized ownership, and on-chain creator royalties. In addition to working with the Chia team while they develop Chia TCG, Grig and I have been building our own card game for which we released the demo video. It is called Decentralized Dominion, and this is a proof of concept game that we are looking to partner with community projects to create custom card games. The biggest challenge I foresee with Chia TCG and also with our card game is growing that community interest. The ChiaNFT community, while very close and passionate, is still relatively small. But for these card games to truly succeed, we will need to not only grow interest in Chia NFTs, but also generally in blockchain-based gaming. I also think that this is a huge opportunity for creators and developers because Chia is drastically reducing the barriers to entry, enabling anyone to create an NFT collection and quickly deploy gamification through the open source TCG repo. This, combined with our minting tool and soon to be released white labeled NFT storefront, will provide a robust starting point for all projects, creators, and developers.
Yeah, we are also very excited for TCG standard and the idea. And Richard will visit China in a couple of days, and we will discuss more about that opportunity with him face to face. That's a great thing, a big thing in Chia.
I agree.
Yeah. So I have okay. That's a demo link. As I mentioned before, it's MINTr is a very great tool, but a little bit complicated for the new player. Could you please show us online how to set up a collection? Explain to us, yeah, step by step.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to demonstrate here is the screen on MINTr. If you load into mintr.nftr.pro, you will get to our home screen. You will have to create an account in order to gain access. Once you do, you'll see a new collection screen similar to this, where you can start your collection. What I'm going to show you is a import from Hashlips. This is where you can set your collection name and description. This will be carried throughout the rest of the process. After creating the collection, we will edit it. And I already have a Hashlips directory ready to go. So I am going to select my Hashlips directory. And this is the standard build directory from Hashlips. So you'll have the images as well as the metadata JSON. You'll notice that MINTr has a few options at the top here. Generally, you want to import your main asset, and you just need to scan your metadata. The other trick is to group by file names. What this will do is it will connect the PNG directly to the JSON metadata. We will hit import. Anybody paying close attention would have noticed that it said there were 251 JSON files and only 250 image files. This is because Hashlips adds an extra metadata file, and MINTr will properly handle that extra metadata file. As you noticed, everything imported very quickly. And the next thing I'm going to do is apply or update the metadata throughout the collection. There are all 250 to-do items, and I'm going to update the metadata in all of them. If you're quick enough, you'll see the master queue at the bottom as it's changing in every one of these states, and you can actually drill down to see exactly what is being updated. Since we have the metadata updated, you'll notice that these are ready for upload, but maybe you want to edit it just a little bit more. So you can select an NFT, and you'll notice it'll go to the NFT editor, no longer on the collection. We're on the NFT editor. It will display which NFT you're editing, and we can drill in to see exactly what we want to edit. A lot of these values are automatically populated once we click that update metadata button. So the series information is already in place, as well as all of the traits. Sometimes your traits might be a little too large, so you can expand this entire window in order to edit them more easily. We talked about multi-asset NFTs, and this is where you could add additional files for a specific NFT. This NFT already has a JSON file for the metadata, and it does have a PNG for the main image. But maybe I want to add a thumbnail in here. Maybe I want to add a 3D model version of it or a video. Adding additional files in here not only connects them directly to this NFT, but we automatically generate the schema.org data so that they can be captured on chain. The easiest way to see that additional schema.org data is under the NFT preview. You can click on metadata. In here is where you'll see the standard JSON object that most of us are used to from Chia. And this little piece right here is the extra schema.org information. You'll notice not only do we include the image information itself, but we also include width and height, size information. That really helps marketplaces and other display services properly display your NFTs or generate thumbnails when necessary. I'm not going to go through the full process here, but the next step that you would do is upload all of the assets to IPFS and then mint your assets. That's a relatively simple step. However, we are integrating Wallet Connect to make that even more simple. The last cool thing I want to show you is under the collection editor and preview. Once you click this preview button, it's going to utilize open rarity to score the rarity of every one of your NFTs and provide you a quick dropdown to see why each trait received scores that they did. So as you mentioned, it is a powerful tool, and there certainly is a lot in there. We just barely scratched the surface, but even within this 5-minute period, we would be ready to mint a collection of 250 NFTs that were generated utilizing Hashlips.
So is there maximum items one time you can mint in MINTr?
The limitations of MINTr will be the same limitations of your device. I utilized Firefox for the demonstration because we have found that Firefox can not only store more files than, say, Chrome or Brave browser, but it will also act a little bit more efficiently with IndexedDB. So loading your assets will be faster with Firefox. And the other side of the problem is minting on the Chia chain itself. Currently, MINTr will provide you all of the CLI and RPC commands to mint on your own. Once we utilize Wallet Connect, we are going to re-engineer the bulk mint toolset so that you can directly through Wallet Connect utilize bulk minting. This will have the same limitation that Chia does of 25 NFTs per block, but that would be infinitely scalable as you await a longer period of time for those to mint. And the other side of the problem is minting on the Chia chain itself. Currently, MINTr will provide you all of the CLI and RPC commands to mint on your own. Once we utilize Wallet Connect, we are going to re-engineer the bulk mint toolset so that you can directly through Wallet Connect utilize bulk minting. This will have the same limitation that Chia does of 25 NFTs per block, but that would be infinitely scalable as you await a longer period of time for those to mint.
Okay, I didn't see the where to upload the license file.
Certainly. So the license upload, I will pull it up here so we can take a look. I do not have my IPFS token in here, so I will not be able to show you right now. However, when you are in the collection editor, you will have an option for license right here, and you can directly upload from here, or we do have a couple of different options for adding your license URI directly in here as well. So if you have a license that is already uploaded, you can utilize the URI directly through this feature as well. So the license will be based on the collection editor.
Now we finished our Q&A online, and it's open to our community. If anybody has any question, please go up show up and ask directly. But I saw that Austin has a question in the chat channel. Would love to hear.
Let me do. I'll do it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Would love to hear about the year-long process of what it took for you guys to get NFTr from nothing to what it is today.
Great question. The thing that we are not showing you right now are all of the other tool sets and primitives that we have already built out. Over the last year, not only have we been working on our minting tool and our decentralized Dominion trading card game, but we have been building out a mobile application, interactions with the metaverse directly, such as compassion.land and venue.vip, and a full web browser experience, web marketplace experience.
他还有一个问题。
The question is, are there any other founders or people that work with you guys that you can mention other than you and Greg that contributed to getting to project to where it is today?
Great question. Thank you, Austin. And yes, we have had a number of other developers assist us throughout the process. There's a couple of those partnerships that we can't disclose quite yet until those products are released. However, Lucky 8 is a core community member. He's been helping us with Chia Lisp development. We have also worked with a number of anonymous developers who have assisted on different code bases and projects. And the total right now, I would say across our repos is about 12 different contributors. And to touch on outside of the development itself, another big part of our process has been working with community projects and also projects that are outside of the general Chia ecosystem. This even includes municipalities around the US for data equity projects. A couple of the projects in Chia that have helped us get to where we're at today are the Crew of 8 project and the Monkey Zoo project have been great proponents.
John 也有一个问题在频道上。
Okay, John 的问题是 I see that NFTr supports many blockchains of which Chia is one of them. Would you say NFTr is a Chia first platform or is it more chain agnostic?
Yep. Thank you, John. That is a great question, and it definitely focuses on one of our core principles. We at NFTr are focused on the creator first design. This means that we will find the proper product market fit for what we're developing. The base behind that is creators want the additional control. They want on-chain royalties, and a lot of that can only come from Chia. So we are definitely a Chia first platform. However, our goal is to be chain agnostic in the future to help with transferring NFTs across different blockchains and making a much more robust metaverse experience.
Austin 后边还有一个问题。
Austin have another question down there. Yeah, trading volume of NFTs on Chia is pretty low compared to other chains. Do you plan to provide tools to traders specifically to potentially bring more liquidity into the ecosystem?
That is a great question, Austin. Thank you. And we also recognize the liquidity is low on Chia currently. However, our initial focus is not going to be easy trading systems. Our initial focus will be on the creators and the individual projects. This will start with creator tooling, such as our minting tool, and continue to expand into social experiences and a community growing platform. Once we launch our white label NFT store, you'll see a lot more of that. So we will in the future work with traders and design tools for trading. However, we want to make sure that foundation for the project creators is in place before we change that focus.
Brent, so the MINTr MINTr is a open source software. Do you have a API? So some other tools could integrate together.
So MINTr is open source. We do not have an API, and that's because of the lightweight development. All you need to do is spin up an HTTP server, and you can have your own version of MINTr running almost immediately.
Okay, so I think that's all we have today. If anybody have question, hands up. So what's the time there, Brent? It's 10.
So I am actually nearer to Pacific time right now. So it is 8 o'clock here.
Wow.
And I appreciate you guys working with my schedule. My schedule has been variable over the last couple of weeks. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. And we know you do a lots of job before and now. So you deserve that, I think. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I just put a couple other proof of concepts that I had mentioned previously into the chat. One for Compassion Land, another for Venue VIP, and then I as well put the link for the MINTr source code in case anybody is interested.
Yeah. Yeah, and John said we will be hosting an NFT 1 anniversary, 168-hour Twitter space.
Yes, yes. So
another one.
So last year, during the launch of NFTs on Chia, I got together and hosted, and Austin was a big part of this too, as to hosting a 168-hour-long Twitter space. It was 7 days long, and it was a lot of fun. Met a lot of new and interesting people. I am not going to be the primary host this year. It is Edward from Chia Music who decided to pick up the torch and run with it. However, you will see me hosting different sections of the 168-hour space this year. Last year, during the launch of NFTs on Chia, I got together and hosted, and Austin was a big part of this too, as to hosting a 168-hour-long Twitter space. It was 7 days long, and it was a lot of fun. Met a lot of new and interesting people. I am not going to be the primary host this year. It is Edward from Chia Music who decided to pick up the torch and run with it. However, you will see me hosting different sections of the 168-hour space this year.
Great. That's really you are big contributors. One of the biggest contributors to Chia ecosystem.
Thank you.
I'd like to see that, Brent. So as thanks for join us as our guest. We'd like to send a GOC NFT, God of Crypto NFT, to you as a present. Okay, so DM me your address. Okay, thank you very much, Brent, and thanks everyone who come here today. So thanks everybody, and take care, and we will see you next time.
Hey, thank you very much, and I appreciate the translations, Bernard.
No worries. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Have a great day, all.